Hi everybody, John Hinn with the Pulsing Cinema, and the movie of the day is Andrei Zulawski's Possession. A few years ago at the BAM, they ran a retrospective of Andrei Zulawski's work, and the retrospective had the name Hysterical Excess. And even though Zulawski hated that name and he didn't show up, Hysterical Excess is probably the best title, the best description for most of Zulawski's work, and definitely a great label to put on Possession. Because Possession, what kind of a label can you put on a movie as crazy as Possession? On the surface, it's a horror movie, but then it's kind of a surrealist horror movie, and it's also a movie about marriage and the relationship between men and women in general. And if you like surrealist European films, you can enjoy it. If you're kind of a meat and potatoes horror movie fan, you can get a certain amount out of it. And if you're just the average moviegoer, you're just completely confused. I saw this film. It played at the Alamo Drafthouse. There was a screening because around 2013, I believe. Actually, yeah, it was. I think it was late 2012 or early 2013, or around that. There was a theatrical re-release, a 35mm re-release of Possession, that wound its way throughout the United States, maybe into Europe, but I know it had a pretty good wide base in the hip repertory theaters in the United States. It was really just one guy, I believe, who just basically wanted to make this thing come together, and he just put together a theatrical re-release. Very kind of shadowy too. He just kind of put this thing together. I think a new print was struck. And the print was great. The film blew away and astounded and freaked out the Austin hipster audience, who didn't know what they were in for. I mean, it is a wild movie. So, what the hell is this thing about? Well, Sam Neill and Isabelle Adjani. They were a couple in this this film. It was shot in Berlin in the early 80s. A city of two parts, East and West Berlin, when it was still that communist freeze, and the Cold War was still on, and Sam Neill's character works for this shadowy organization that is involved. He's involved in some kind of intrigue, but we're never really sure about that. There is a kind of a political subtext to this film, because coming from Poland, Zulawski, who suffered at the hands of Polish censorship, and like most Polish filmmakers, there is this kind of political subtext to their work. There's political subtext to the work of Andrei Zulawski, but his movies are also just totally insane and totally wacko as well. They often feature characters, both men and women, almost like kabuki performances, dressed up in this white paint, very theatric, screaming at the top of their lungs, shouting at the top of their lungs, while Zulawski films this, often handheld, with the widest possible lens he can get aside from a fisheye lens. Sometimes he even descends into fisheye. So getting back to the main plot of Possession, what plot there is: a man and a woman live in this apartment with a young child. The man has been away for a while. He comes back and finds that his wife is emotionally distant from him. She says she wants a divorce, sets him off, and then in the patently Andrei Zulawski fashion, they start fighting and go nuts. we eventually realize that this woman, played by the wonderful Isabelle Adjani, has given birth to this creature, this tentacle creature, which was made by Carlo Rambaldi, and that was a big press behind this film. Was it's a monster movie with special effects by Carlo Rambaldi. This tentacle creature who she has in this apartment. Anyone who comes into the apartment, she kills and kind of feeds the blood to this tentacle creature. The tentacle creature, she's having sex with it, and he grows up, and that's, yeah. In between, there's police detectives, there's car crashes, there's people jumping off of staircases, there's neighbors with leg casts on. There are, doppelgangers all over. A Sam Neill doppelganger, an Isabelle Adjani doppelganger. There's all the kind of requisite elements of the art house film, yet they're all scrambled and mishmashed. And the film is scary. It is a very scary film. The scariest thing about the film is that the film you're watching it just going on, and it doesn't seem to care about an audience. You have this weird feeling watching Possession that even if you weren't watching the movie, that it would still be going on without you. That the film may still be going on without you. It may still be going on right now while we're while I'm recording this, while you're listening to me, while we're doing this show. The world of Possession could still be going on. It has that feel of a David Lynch world building, a very strange world that somehow we just get a window into with this film. Totally different. Of course, Zulawski is in a totally different angle of a weirdo movie than David Lynch. Okay, stylistically, definitely. Zulawski is far more of a classical filmmaker. And he's learned from the European school, European filmmakers, European cinematographers, primarily French filmmakers, because he emigrated from Poland after making some striking films like Third Part of the Night and the Devil, and the extraordinary science fiction film On the Silver Globe, which inspired the hell out of me. Possession was a film financed by a bunch of different people, and it had a lot of success at the Cannes Film Festival. Isabelle Adjani got a lot of notice for her performance here, which is heavily physical. She's shouting, screaming, going nuts. And of course, we got a young Sam Neill, but it was mainly Isabelle Adjani got all the light, and this was very early on in her career. And the film released in the United States in a weird edited version, which had all these special effects and stuff, and cut out a hell of a lot of the movie. But I mean, it didn't. I mean, you could cut out. There's nothing you can cut out of this movie that's going to make it make sense. They tried to make this movie make sense. It's just totally ridiculous. But it's a film which made a big splash internationally. Was released on video in the United States in that cut version, and then was released in the late 90s, early 2000s by Anchor Bay on the uncut DVD release with commentary by Zulawski. And then it was re-released very recently by Mondo Vision, who have been doing these deluxe, incredible special editions of the Zulawski films, released in a special edition deluxe Blu-ray box set, which is currently the one to get, is currently the best. Well, there is a UK Blu-ray, which is quite good, but the Mondo Vision Blu-ray, which I have, looks beautiful, feels beautiful. It is one of the great Blu-ray special editions. As Mondo editions, their special edition DVDs are the greatest special edition DVDs that anyone has produced. bar none. Their editions of the Zlowski films are yeah, they're epic. They're an example of how you do a special edition DVD or Blu-ray. So in any case, Possession, great special edition out. Get it if you like crazy, weird movies. Then this is one that will freak you out with enough disturbing, emotional emotional damage. It will definitely kind of inflict some damage on you emotionally if you're not prepared. So yeah, put on your fire suit there. It's going to be a bumpy ride.